Our interview with Tanya Nugent next. She began her television career as a host of children's show Kids Corner when MTV began telecast in the 1980s. Tanya eventually went on to hosting a serious current affairs program on the ABC. Tanya reflects in this interview. Tanya Nugent, welcome to PNG Tonight. Welcome to television. We haven't seen you for a while. Where have you been?
It's been a long time. Well, I've been exploring my father's side of the family, his country. I've been down in Australia since 1990
when you left Kids
out.
Corner. I
Yes.
think at MTV. That's quite a long time.
Yes.
You haven't changed. You look good.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
how has it been? While you're in Australia, we saw you on ABC and on a number of programs, Pacific Pulse, other programs. Tell us about that.
Okay, so yes, I left here and spent a little bit of time working in regional television, which had very similar sort of parallels to the kind of the way that TV is produced in PNG. You know, the regional television, you get to do a lot of things. You get to multitask. So you know, that transition then led me to apply for a job with the ABC, hosting a news and current affairs program for children called Behind the News, which
That's a serious program.
It is actually. It's an iconic program in Australia. It's been running since 1969. It's watched in over 90% of Australian schools. For 6 years, I was the face.
To get into that, Tanya.
Apparently, there were 500 applicants.
Okay.
Yeah, and they shortlisted down to 9 and flew 9 of us into audition, and I got the gig.
And out there came a Tanya Nugent.
Yes, a Papua New Guinean girl.
How about that? How about that? And you did it for how many years? And how did you exit?
It was just a really wonderful experience to be on that program. It kind of tapped straight into my first love, which is children's TV. Having sort of cut my teeth creating the Kids Corner program.
Yes.
I think I certainly have a special love for children's television, and I think it's something that is, you know, by and large undervalued. We tend to put a lot of focus on news and politics, and we forget about the kids. True. This program actually brought both of these elements together. I mean, we did cover serious topics. We would explain to children the annual budget every year, what the budget is, how it works, and what the government has handed down. Wow. If there was a crisis in the international media, for example, you know, the ongoing conflicts in the Middle East, we would take it back to the Stone Age was one of our things. Take it back to the beginning and break it down. You know, with an audience of young people, we know that they have no prior knowledge. We assume that adults do know the history. But in actual fact, what we discovered is a lot of these kids were going home and explaining the Middle East conflict to their parents.
Well, how about that, eh? And you've always said that with television, and this is a bit of a lesson to many up-and-coming, aspiring Papua New Guinea into this industry, smile to the camera.
Oh, smiling. I mean, smiling is just like the number one, you know, rule number one, you know, if you want to be friends with somebody, you smile, you know, and looking through that glass lens and smiling is a great way to welcome people, and people immediately feel drawn to you. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's talk quickly now about your involvement with the Pacific Games. You're heavily involved, and it was quite a successful outcome.
Yes, that was, you know, a bit of a departure from, you know, my history has been in broadcasting and creating TV. And in this case, I was fortunate to be awarded the contract to produce the opening ceremony, the performance, from the creative concept through to the artistic design. And that was a contract that was awarded to my Papua New Guinea company, Makoda Productions.
Makoda? What does Makoda mean?
Makoda is a Motuan word, and it means harvest.
Okay. You certainly did harvest at the Games.
That's right. We have a thing where if you want to reap a good harvest, it's all about how you prepare the ground, how you plant your seeds, how you care for your seeds, chase away the rubbish, give it nourishment, time the planting at the right time, and all of these things come together to reap a bountiful harvest.
Okay. How reflective it is with the Pacific Games, I suppose. We planted, we'll now go to, is it Tonga? And harvest more from there. All right, let's depart from that. Let's talk about your personal life a little bit. Tim Nugent, A friend of mine,
Yes.
your husband at the MTV at the time, what happened?
Okay, so yes, Tim was a great influence on my life. I still have his surname. He was my first husband. And Tim was the first production manager at MTV.
Yes.
So he was actually the person that oversaw and was responsible for all of the local
Your
programs.
program, my program, news as well
yes,
at that time.
Yeah.
Yes,
And
yes.
so he actually had a huge influence on the television landscape. And, you know, we're still enormously good friends. We have a son together, Jonathan, who got married in March last year and just announced at Christmas that I'm going to be a grandmother in July.
Okay.
And yesterday he told me that they're having a boy, so the Nugent sons will continue.
Wow.
Yes, we're pretty proud.
Okay. Your father, George Bale, and your mother.
Yes, so mum and dad, well, that's just a great romance. They've been married now for 51 years.
Wow.
They're still
Hear that, everybody? 51 years.
And yeah, and actually when they were courting, it was against the law, you know. It was illegal for that kind of union for a white and a black
So nobody
to be
knew
together.
about that marriage?
Well, they actually, they publicly they just publicly said this is a stupid law. And just, you know, I just look at their photo of them on their wedding day and just think, how on earth can this be illegal? It's crazy. But yeah, Dad has also influenced a lot of us sitting here too.
With radio and with television.
As a television engineer, first he started here in this very building that we're in, and then he moved also to MTV and was the founding chief engineer. He built the Garden City Studios and put that big tower up on Burns Peak. But he did all of that and more for our national broadcaster. 11 of our regional radio stations that are still standing today were built and designed by my father. So the broadcasting legacy that has been passed on to me certainly comes from Dad for sure.
True. Yeah, we can agree to that. What is Tanya Nugent today?
Well, I still am based in Brisbane, but as many will probably know or have noticed, I'm coming home a lot more. I did spend a whole year here producing and putting together that opening ceremony for the Games. And, I'm a Papua New Guinean. I have never relinquished my citizenship. I hold my Papua New Guinean citizenship still, and very consciously so and very proudly so. And it's always been my intention to come back, and it's always been my intention to go and gather knowledge and experience from outside, from first world country, and come back and find a place here where I can actually use that, what I know, what my skills are, and the knowledge that I've gathered to be of benefit to my country, because this is something that I know that my parents were very passionate about, and they feel very disconnected because they're down in Townsville, and so I kind of feel like I'm bringing their spirit with me whenever I come, and I'm hopeful that I can find a way to be here more often.
Okay. Just one final point. You're saying your parents disconnected down. I hear that your mother's growing little PNG foods
somehow. Mum has managed to smuggle, or I don't know, pit, ibrica, tapioca, all this. Her garden is like a PNG garden in the middle of Queensland.
Wow. How about that?
Yeah, so, and she's a passionate cook. She had the restaurants, Fide's Kaiko House restaurants a long time ago, so she's still able to continue cooking her incredible PNG style recipes, and maybe that's a project I can do with Mum. A cooking show with PNG Kaikai.
Tanya Nugent, thank you very much for your time.
Thanks, John.
Good to talk to you.
Great to see you.
Okay. Tanya Nugent, ending this edition of PNG Tonight. If you have any comments or feedback on any of our stories, please visit our website at pngtonight.com. Thank you for watching. We'll do it again at the same time tomorrow. Good night.